We are going to Red Lobster today.
Woo!
The #1 seafood restaurant.
Ever. It just sucks though because the one by us is closed. Even though it's closed, I'm obviously still gonna try to get some Red Lobster. I'm hungry.
Our dad was pissed. I remember he was just mad when it shut down.
And if you look inside, there's someone ready to shoot me if I walk in.
I've visited a dead grandparent's grave before, but somehow this was even worse.
We hopped in the vehicle and drove an hour to the nearest Red Lobster.
Just marveling at the New England architecture always takes my breath away.
It is cool that we are in Nebraska, but we get to experience what it's like to live somewhere on the East Coast.
Maine or something, Massachusetts. Yeah, there's really no point of ever visiting there because of Red Lobster.
I didn't know that every Red Lobster has a valet.
Very chic. It also feels like you're going in a little dingy boathouse, in a way. There was a lot of screaming children in the waiting room when we first got there, and I felt stressed out for their guardians.
Legend, But then they got a table, so we got to enjoy the waiting room all to ourselves.
They do have a whole lobster tank for you to observe as you wait.
It is cool, I got to admit it, but then you go closer and you see like these rubber bands wrapped around their claws, and I start to feel bad for them.
Wait, why do they have rubber bands on the... Oh, is it so when they grab them out of there to put them in the pot, they don't get clawed? Or is it so, do they beat up each other in there, maybe? I just remembered that as a kid, you get the Red Lobster necklace. Did you ever get that as a kid?
Wait, there was?
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
It was this like little tacky plastic necklace with lobsters on it.
I don't really remember this. I don't remember it, but then again, I erase a lot of memories from my head.
Something about it was traumatizing, I'm assuming.
Yeah. We got sat at a booth. We were in the front area of this Red Lobster where the bar is. Gotta say, it did kind of feel like we were on a boat. A ship telegraph thing. There was a bunch of photos of boats and other ocean things.
What were all those flags about? Did you say they had something to do with boats?
Those are the flags that are used to communicate between ships. I guess ships actually have like a consciousness and they talk to each other. There was 3 televisions in this little area. One was playing VH1, one was playing Wheel of Fortune, and the other was playing the Oprah Network. There was a good variety of things.
Our waiter was a SoundCloud rapper type guy. He had like a little tattoo on his face and tattoos all over his arms. And he actually was so excited when Wheel of Fortune came on. Remember he said, he's like, Wheel of Fortune! And then he said, you guys, it's about the little things.
I don't have any little things to be excited about. No, I'm joking. Red Lobster, from the few that I've been to in the last few years, does have a moldy vibe. It just seems really old. But with that being said, it doesn't really take away from the dining experience. For me, it adds more character.
I think that might be the intended aesthetic. Because if you're on a boat, like say we're actually in the basement of a boat, it's gonna be moldy, it's gonna smell like gross seawater. It's just gonna be nasty. So they're actually getting the vibe down. Like you do feel like touch the carpet and it would be wet because there's some seawater leaking in.
That's true. They make it a moldy vibe on purpose because an actual ship would be moldy.
Yeah.
We started browsing the menu and it was a good sized menu. There was like a daily special thing, a bunch of appetizers. And yes, it's like the biggest seafood restaurant, but they were kind enough to have a few chicken entrees. Because we all know one of those annoying people that says, "Oh my gosh, I hate seafood. It smells so gross." We all think they're annoying, but we try to come to a compromise with them and understand them. Yeah. But we probably never will understand them. But it's cool that Red Lobster tries to understand them.
If you're having a group of 6+ people going to Red Lobster, one of them is gonna fall into that annoying category. So they have to cater to them as well, you know? Idiots.
Idiots. We were in a dirty mood. We wanted to get rough. We wanted to have calluses on our hands after this meal. So we started out with lobster pizza because we knew that would be the best appetizer to lead us to the outcome.
As you can tell from looking at it, it's literally a frozen pizza. What is that? What was that brand? Tombstone?
Yeah.
Tombstone pizzas always are so good when you make them at home. Literally tasted the exact same, with a little bit of sprinklings of lobster.
I actually would say the brand of pizza that's cheaper than a Tombstone. There's this brand called Jack's Pizza. And I think
That's what I was thinking of.
yeah, that crust is so thin. It was exactly like this. And it was a frozen pizza, but I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, how much was it, I guess? Was it like $15 or something?
Yeah.
So I guess it does seem like a ripoff eating frozen pizza from Jack's for that price, but I still liked it. And I was happy that it wasn't too lobstery. It basically was just cheese pizza. Like, you didn't really taste the lobster, except for that one piece you got.
I did take off the lobster off the pizza so I could try it by itself. And it was good, but yeah, it was very tame.
I felt anxiety the whole time eating it because I think I mentioned this in other videos of Jacob's, but I do have an irrational fear that I'm allergic to shellfish. So I just kept thinking, oh, even though it's never happened, this might be the time where my throat closes up and they'll have to call the ambulance.
When are you gonna come to terms with, like, you don't have that?
Well, I think the sad thing is, for everyone out there, just so you guys know,
I know what you're gonna say
it
now.
can develop at any second. So, like, you could be 46, and that's when you have your first allergic reaction to shellfish. And it can be deadly. Like, if you're in first class on a plane, they probably are selling lobster up there. What if you're over the Atlantic and you have a deadly reaction? These are just things we all should be thinking about. All of that is just to say I was stressed while eating the pizza, but it was good.
While we were munching down that pizza, because yes, we ate the whole thing, we were both thinking, wait, where are the cheddar bay biscuits?
Where are they?
I would assume that right when we got to the table, they would be on the table.
I'm assuming the way it's supposed to go, you get your drinks, you get your biscuits, and then you get your starter. But somehow we got our drinks, our starter, and then the biscuits.
Does kind of suck because I know this is a fact. If we had the biscuits pre-having the pizza, we would have enjoyed them more.
We can't even hold it against our waiter though, because I could kind of tell he was getting stressed. He's like, oh, where are the biscuits? And like, something was going on in the kitchen. I don't know if maybe the ovens were malfunctioning, but wow. He rushed them out and he was like, here's the biscuits finally. But he didn't really want to make a moment out of it because he didn't want us to know anything was going wrong. Even though we knew, of course, that the dinner was way off track.
I was stressed about the future.
I know.
What else is gonna come at an untimely manner?
Something about these Red Lobster biscuits, whenever you eat them, you always kind of feel like you're gonna choke because they are so dense.
These biscuits are like if you somehow grinded up a whole entire pig and added it into a biscuit. Because it feels like you're eating something so thick.
I know, like they really pack it in there.
It's just delicious.
Funny thing is that even though I haven't been to Red Lobster that much recently, I have had these biscuits kind of like frequently because you can just buy them at the store and sometimes our mom makes them.
Tastes exactly the same.
Yeah. I gotta say these biscuits obviously are delicious, and if you say they aren't delicious, you're lying.
I was gonna say they need a dip, but then I thought that'd be gross.
Dude, that would just be too much.
Yeah.
For my main entree, I got the Lobster Lovers Duo, which is kind of funny because I don't even really consider myself a lobster lover. If I had to choose what type of lover I am, I would probably say I'm a chorizo lover. But I just really wanted to live my lobster fantasy. We got lobster pizza for an appetizer, so I'm gonna get the Lobster Lover Duo, which is one Maine lobster and the other one is a Caribbean lobster. And I guess lobsters from different areas of the ocean taste different. And they look different, I guess, too.
They're different shades.
Broccoli on this side. Broccoli was delicious. I wasn't expecting it, but they like doused it in lemon and butter, which you have to do that because it tastes butter when it's doused in butter, let's be honest.
For sure.
Oh, you gotta. You absolutely gotta.
I looked under the table for the lemon, but I couldn't find it, so now it's lost. I'm sorry to whoever is cleaning the restaurant and finds a dirty lemon under this booth. I love this meal because they do all the hard work for you. It's already out of the lobster, you just have to take it off the top of the lobster. You don't have to like actually dig inside and stuff. And then I just started eating it with my hands because I guess I'm just an animal. What I decided is I like the Maine lobster better than the Caribbean lobster.
What was even the difference?
This mostly has to do with seasoning, so I don't know if you had it with no seasoning, what it would taste like, but the Caribbean had more flavor, whereas the Maine lobster was more just tame. It more just tasted like lemon and butter.
You really did the Red Lobster thing.
Yeah, I ate our lobster for my meals.
Fancy.
Something that's interesting that I heard a while back that I wanted to talk about was lobster didn't used to be fancy. Me and Lucas were kind of talking while we were at Red Lobster. Wait, why do people even like lobster? Because it literally just looks like a bug.
I know, it's the insects of the ocean.
Way back in the day, like sometime in the 1800s, people used to consider lobster cockroaches of the sea, and it was also considered a poor man's meal. I guess there was just like piles of lobster coming up on the shore, and they didn't really know what to do with it.
So broke people just ate it?
I guess so. And then over time, they started canning lobster. And then somehow it became a fancy thing, and people are convinced that it's fancy even though like it's literally just a big bug in the ocean. And it doesn't even taste that good if we're being completely honest.
All this stuff we view as fancy or elegant, like at one point it might have been a broke person thing.
So it's all just a lie, and you have to come up with your own opinions at the end of the day.
Yeah, don't base your whole entire life on, is this broke or is it rich? I used to do that for many years. I stopped 2 years ago. I stopped 2 days ago, and I've been happier since I don't do that anymore.
Whenever I see anyone eat lobster, they dip it in butter, so I tried it, but something about this butter was weird. It had like this, it was just weird. It didn't really taste like butter to me, so I stopped doing that.
What, did it have like something in it? Like a different type of?
Yeah, it had some like, seasoning in it that wasn't good.
Ugh. I got the surf and turf.
Land and sea.
Mm-hmm. I got their sirloin, which I asked to be medium rare, with the Walt's favorite shrimp, which is just some battered shrimp, all deep fried. My sides were fries and coleslaw. Just to start off with the coleslaw, what you said about your butter, I don't know if something was going on in the kitchen, but my coleslaw tasted like beer.
I tried the coleslaw, and I thought it tasted like they added vanilla extract in it, which I don't even get why they would do that. It was just off.
I actually only had one bite, and I usually love coleslaw. But the fries were great, obviously. The sirloin was tasty, and the shrimp things were just the perfect amount of deep fat fried. Dipped in the cocktail sauce, it really hit the spot.
Something that I noticed while looking at Lucas's plate was Red Lobster is a little bit stingy. They give you a side of ketchup. They don't have ketchup at the table, so I'm assuming people were wasting too much ketchup, so they wanted to cut the cost, so they started giving it to people as a side.
Is that something that changed during, like, ever since the pandemic? I swear before the pandemic, they had just had a bottle of ketchup on each table, but now they're always just giving it these little things. Like, I feel like somebody must have started a trend online, bringing a whole entire empty bottle of ketchup and just squirting the restaurants into it to bring home or something.
So then they had to stop doing little sides of it.
Yeah.
Lucas was gonna be fancy and get the filet mignon.
Oh yeah, I think it was an $8 upgrade to substitute the sirloin for a filet.
But you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You wanted to be more humble.
Yeah, I felt like I was just being too bougie, and then I realized, wait, maybe sirloin's good if I ask for it medium rare. Because I realized the reason why I've always hated steak my whole life is because I don't like well done steak. It's so chewy and it takes way too much effort to eat. But if you get it medium rare, it actually is just juicy, tender, it just melts in your mouth. And the sirloin was good. Like, obviously filet would be better, but it still was good. I ate the whole thing.
Does this happen to anyone else? When you get a napkin while you're eating a good down-home greasy meal, that napkin turns into a ball of disgustingness. Eat some food and then I wipe my hands down, and at the end of it, this napkin looked like it was in Hugh Hefner's bed sheets.
Oh yeah, it was the little rag after an orgy.
Yeah, and...
Doesn't Beyonce have a song, Go With The Rag? Or what'd she say? I swear there's one song about this that I was on the bed and I said get the rag or something.
Oh, there, Daddy didn't bring the towel. So now to bring it back to my experience, that napkin that I was using was turning into the towel that Beyonce is referencing. Since we're on the topic of Beyonce, I should note something. In Beyonce's hit song Formation, she says something like, if he F's me good, I'm going to bring him to Red Lobster. And I think she did the Super Bowl halftime performance and that song got released. And I guess after that song got released, Red Lobster's sales went up 33%.
Oh my god.
I always think it's crazy that like these celebrities actually have power.
Remember that line was iconic. Like I feel like that really stood out in everyone's minds.
Just so you guys know, I would rather have salmon than have lobster. It doesn't taste bad, I just didn't like it. But with that being said, about a year ago, I had a lobster roll in North Carolina, and I remember liking it. So my conclusion is, maybe fresh lobster is better than Red Lobster. Maybe though, because I'm not sure about it. Oh, I forgot to mention, I got another side of bacon mac and cheese. When I ordered it, he said we don't have bacon, and I said, that's fine. It was good. It was a thick mac and cheese.
Yeah, I tasted a bite and it had this one flavor that most mac and cheeses don't have. So we were trying to figure out what type of cheese it was. We decided it was Gouda. I don't even know if that's true though. But it had a certain taste that is pretty unique for mac and cheese.
It's good.
I tried some of Lucas's Wout's favorite shrimp, and I thought after, it tasted mostly like breading to me.
Maybe that's why I liked it, because it's basically a chicken nugget.
Oh, is that why? Didn't you say you felt sick after?
Oh yeah, when I went home after this, I actually felt so exhausted and sick. Like I almost thought, I'm not gonna wash my face tonight, but I ended up washing my face. I just felt so worn down. I don't know, something about this meal really just tore me up emotionally.
Maybe they put NyQuil in it? No, I'm joking. They didn't do that.
They didn't, but it felt like they did.
Lobster tails kind of prove that mermaids are real, because that literally looks like a mermaid's tail. So maybe lobsters are a smaller version of a mermaid.
A human did it with a lobster and a mermaid came out, maybe?
Oh yeah!
Even though Lucas felt gross, I was still like, let's get dessert. So I asked the waiter, what's your favorite? And he said like the cheesecake and the chocolate wave. I ordered the chocolate, no, the brownie overboard, which some could say was a diss, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah, and he actually took it pretty good.
I thought it was like brownie overboard, like they're gonna go overboard on brownie. But then Lucas educated me.
It actually has to do with a boat. Because if you go overboard on a boat, you go into the water. Which actually is the whole reason why people even use the word overboard to talk about going over the top. So it always is about a boat. There's no way to say overboard without a boat. It came out in a little margarita glass, and I was touching it, and it was burning. Like the bottom brownie was bubbling with heat. Straight out of the microwave.
It's good.
And it was so magical. When I took my first bite, Coldplay's one song, I don't even know what it's called. As I took the bite, it went, ooh, and like as it hit my throat, the guy went, ah. Like it actually was magical. That proves that there is a Jesus.
Storm.
It goes with your feelings right now. We were about to go, so I asked for backs, and I put the lobster tails in it, and some other stuff, but I mainly just wanted to bring the lobster tails home to use them as a cat toy. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Did Safari enjoy them?
I mean, I don't know if she really used it as a toy, but she was licking it.
Oh, her first time licking a lobster.
I gotta say, looking at it just grosses me the fuck out. It was time to leave Red Lobster. I am definitely gonna go back again sometime.
Even though last night I felt tired and I actually did feel like I was gonna throw up. I don't know what about it. Maybe eating steak. I don't think I'm used to eating bloody steak. Hours later, I would go again tonight. Next time I go though, I want to Uber so I can take advantage of all these drinks they have.
I was so tempted to get down and get dirty, but I just decided not to. Bye.
Bye, lobster.